Welcome to Mama's Playground. This is Monica.
And this is Darlene.
Switched it up today. We switched it because Darlene is exhausted.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, today was probably one of the days this morning where I felt the most exhausted. I don't know. It wasn't a crazy weekend, nothing like that. But I don't know. Sometimes we just get tired. It's the chores, is the schedule, is the trying to
do all the events that you want to go to.
Yes, like we were at the church fair yesterday and it was so much fun. It was super sunny. It's a small fair, which I appreciate because you're not walking a lot. But still, I was so tired last night. My body, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking midlife parenting.
Yes, midlife. Well, I think it just gets a little bit more, I think it gets a little harder as you get older, right? Because we're more tired. As we get older, being that we're dealing with little kids and all that. And when I say little, we're talking about from 5 to 8 years old. I think any kid is exhausting, but but you know what I mean? Like us, we are also with our own changes and our own thing, and it just doesn't get easier. As you get older, you get more tired. You need a little bit more of a relaxed time. But we had talked about the Myers-Briggs, right? Myers-Briggs personality test from 16 personalities. And I just wanted to pinpoint something because we didn't have that information when you and I were going through it.
You said that there was one thing that
we were different on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which is funny because you got the ENFJ and I got ENFP, right? So the difference is J and P. And so J is for judgment and P is for perceiving. And I was just looking at like the differences between both. And the main thing that I want to say, because I feel like it is very much correct, but there is also things that you and I intertwine on, right? There's things that I see on mine that I'm like, Darlene does that, like Darlene is like that, or or vice versa. The one main thing that I had to say, okay, this is for real. So yours is that since we started this podcast, Darlene's always been about timelines, right? Timelines and her script, and not a script because we don't go off of word for word, but having something to talk about,
beginning, middle, and end.
I
come from acting background,
yeah.
So they made us study that like crazy. So
that's it makes sense because she would get so annoyed with me that I'd be like, "Why, Darlene? Why a freaking time? Forget the timeline.
I'm like,
let's just wing it.
We need the who, what, when." Wait, do you know the
yes? Who, what, where,
when, where, why?
Well, oh, there we go. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
So that was the main thing. I wanted to bring it out there because I want those of you listening to know who your podcast hosts are, right? So we're very much alike, but we do have those differences. And I think that's probably a good balance.
So is that the main difference? But
I got from us.
Okay, but now it's been in the last couple of weeks, I feel that it's switched a little bit.
But that's what I'm saying.
You're more organized now. I'm all over the place, which I apologize.
But that's fine.
It's just like when I heard about this, the percentages, you know how they say every relationships are 50-50.
Yeah. No, it's not.
No, because sometimes your spouse will bring like 10% home and you got to step it up and be like
the 90.
Don't get used to that though.
No.
But it's about teamwork and covering each other. For example, like I said, this morning I was zero. And then Fabian was like, I'll take her that, but I can record the podcast for you. I'm like, I know. But yeah, so in this case, I feel that in the last couple of weeks, you've been...
But this is what I'm saying. And I think also too, again, I always say about the age, but it is because it comes with the experience. It comes from looking back on your like past experiences of whatever you were trying to do and realizing that some shit doesn't work, right? Like I'm realizing what doesn't work for me. And at this age, which I've always known, but I think I'm implementing it more, is the fact of I need a schedule because without a schedule, I do not function. I do not get things done correctly. And I've been always anti-schedule. I am like, let's go with the flow, whatever happens, and then with the
that
podcast.
That was me in the 20s.
Correct. I was like that, I think, through my 30s,
Yeah. Well, truly.
But now it's kind of like, with the podcast, let's say I realize, okay, Darlene, make sense. We need to have some sort of outline. It's not that we have to have word for word verbatim what we're gonna say, but we do have to have something like to go off of, right? Because sometimes you're just like, so that was the main thing that I saw in our personality. I just wanted to throw it out there because we had left that on the last episode saying, oh, we're gonna figure out what the J is and the P. So the J was for judgment. There's more to it though. I'm just bringing that one thing because I think that's what.
Yeah, it's so odd that they'll put judgment because it has
judgment.
nothing to do with character.
Yeah. No.
It's and
you have to look at it. You have to, you guys, you have to get on it. 16 personalities, take it and see. And then it's crazy. I'm going to have my spouse do it as well because we have similarities, but we are so different at the same time. I want to know what it is, like how his brain works or, how he functions sometimes. But anyways, I wanted to put that out there. Maybe you should have
done that before.
Yeah, right? I think maybe we
How
do
does
this.
your brain work? We're married. Yeah. Already. That's
yeah. No, I think maybe, you know what? That's a good point.
Do it before.
If you're dating somebody, ladies or gentlemen, you can go ahead and say, you know what? Before we start dating and we take this any further, I need you to take this personality test and then see if you guys kind of like, sync up with each other. I
guess the no apps have the oh my God. What was the
dating apps?
Yes, I am so lost. Obviously, because
you're not on the dating
anymore.
apps?
But the one,
or are you?
You know what? I'm not. Let's not even talk about it. But I did see there's a Facebook page or something saying, "I'm dating this person," and then they put pictures of the guys or girls in case somebody is cheating or something like that. I heard about it and I went in not to look for anything in particular, but I couldn't believe that there's actually.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like I'm dating this person and they put pictures, or I dated this person and he did me wrong, and then they put the person's picture. That's insane.
That is
But
insane.
I wish I had that in my 20s.
I mean, I'm sure the thing is we didn't have such full access as we have now. So, I mean, if you're younger than us and now you're like, starting to, I don't know, now you guys have it a little better in that sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish they had that because, Puerto Rico is a very small island, and sometimes you ended up dating somebody that your friend was dating and you didn't know because it was new or whatever.
And you got sloppy seconds.
I'm like,
ew.
I'm not saying it happened to me.
Yeah.
But it did happen that now you get to see a little bit of the person. You go on their Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now you
see what they're about.
Exactly.
See what they're about.
It's scary, but at the same time, it could be practical. I mean, I remember, in my 20s and, when I was dating back in the island, you didn't know who, and then suddenly 3 months in, it's like, oh my God, my best friend used to date him. Be careful. And it's shit.
Oh man.
So it's that sort of information that I wish we had it now. That we had it back then. But at the same time, it's scary because all your business is out there.
There's a catch-22 to everything.
We'll see when our kids start dating.
No, I don't even want to think about that. That's too soon. It's too soon.
Me neither.
So I wanted to, now that we touched on our dynamic in this podcast, which is the main thing is Darlene's always been the more organized, spreadsheet kind of person. And I've always been like, let's just wing it. So anyways,
but not Excel.
Yeah, no, not Excel, not Excel, but like timeline or whatever.
I am like super old school. I'm like, give me a paper and give me a pen, and then I'll
make a copy of it, and here you have.
I'll do the charts with a ruler, but I can, for some reason, my brain cannot work with Excel. Yeah. I mean, anyway,
let's not go into this because we'll go off on a deep end about Excel sheets and all that, and I don't want to go into that. So our topic for today, being said that we were talking about our friendships and relationships and so on, is about midlife friendships. We've been wanting to cover this because it's just such a weird, I don't know if it's weird. I don't know if weird is the word, but midlife friendships, it's different, right? I don't think people prepare you for midlife friendships. It's weird. No, we were talking about this the other day about how as you get older, I don't know if it's because we, now have families and so on. Obviously, you have your friends from back in the day. If you're still, lucky enough to have like those really good friends from when you were in elementary or middle school or even high school. And then you have the friends that you meet along the way because you have kids. Those are the new friends that you meet, right? Some friendships, like for instance, for me, I have friendships from, a handful of people that I've known since I was like 15, 16, some that I knew that I was like 10 years old. And because we are all in different stages of our life, or some people moved, or it's weird because sometimes you don't feel that same dynamic anymore. And these are people that you may know for such a long time, and you've had so many experiences together, yet now something feels off.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel the same anymore. You talk to them and you feel kind of like, do we have things in common anymore? Or maybe it's just, they're too busy, or maybe I'm just too busy. Am I putting in my part to be friends with this person still? It's weird because life pushes you kind of like, further and further from each other, unless you really both make the effort to constantly be there for each other, and make a thing like, okay, every Friday we're going to call each other 30 minutes in the morning and we're going to keep it. And at the stage that we're in, it's not, it's hard. It doesn't work.
It's hard. I feel that one important thing that we learn is that good friendships, it's not about you're talking every day. Yeah. You're seeing one of my best friends, Jennifer. I've seen her. Oh my God. The last time we see each other probably every 4 or 5 years. We talk every 2 months, and it's we pick up right where we left. We know that we're okay. If not, when we call each other, okay, everything good, everything okay, and then we just start talking. But it's also that, when it's a real friendship, it doesn't matter the distance or.
Correct.
But it's sad because even us, we were trying to talk the other day, and it's just, oh, I gotta go. I'm getting a work call, or the kids are here, or, oh, now I can't talk. And I know that we have so much that we have to say to each other and catch up. And it's sad to think that it's been so hard.
Yeah, something so simple that used to be so simple, right? Is so hard.
Yeah.
It's like when you look back on your 20s and you say your friendships were different. And I think it was more because, not even your 20s.
You have more time.
You have more time. You're in college. Maybe you see that person more at school, And then once you leave the school setting and you go out into the real world of working and all that, like those friendships, it's not that they die out, before kids, it's actually a little easier because maybe you're going out on the weekends now and you go to a bar, or I don't know, whatever you're into. And so your friends get together on the weekends.
Yeah.
But then as you get into our stage where now it's like, we have small kids, okay, but we're not in our 20s and we're not in our 30s either. We are in our 40s reality. And we are in this awkward stage.
No, it's not sad. It's a beautiful, beautiful stage.
It's a beautiful stage, but it's an awkward stage. It is. It's the 40s. I feel it's like you're the middle reject child. I swear to you, this is what I think 40s is. You're no longer like the young.
If you're a middle child, turn it off for a little bit.
But it's true. It's like, how they always say, okay, there's 3 kids, and then the youngest gets all the baby, the attention, and the oldest was like the oldest, but the middle one is like they call them the reject child. I hate to say that if you're a middle child, but if I've heard.
I don't agree. By the way, I'm putting it on record. I do not agree with Monica.
But I've heard this saying, like from people that I know that are middle child. They're like, okay, like I get kind of in the middle. It's like the oldest got everything pampered from the beginning, whatever, and then the youngest is the youngest. So it's like, oh, the baby, and the middle is kind of like, oh, I'm kind of nowhere. And I feel like 40s is that. I feel like the 40s, you're not old because we're not old and we're still vivacious. We still have a lot of energy.
Except this morning,
not as much as before.
Today I'm exhausted, but tomorrow I'm gonna be
better.
Go
to bed at 8, darling.
It's like I had my period too. That's another thing that has me like, what? I have it, I don't have it. Oh, I have it, so maybe I can still get pregnant. Oh wait, but I didn't have it. It's that's the most complicated relationship any woman can have.
No, save that thought. Save that thought because we said we were gonna say that for an episode.
No, I'm gonna say it in every episode.
Okay. So I'm like, save the thought. No, but anyways, what I was saying is 40s is a time of like, so you're not super young, but you're not old either, and you're in this transitional space, especially as a woman, with everything you're going through, and then dealing with small kids, and then also trying to do the things that you like. There's just so much going on. I don't know. It's just it's a weird part, and
Yeah.
I wonder if with friendships, because your friends, I have some friends that don't have kids and they're in other things, right? So it's like we don't have that in common anymore. It's not that I don't love those friends anymore or that I don't want to speak with them. It's just that every time if I want to have a conversation, my kids are around going, "Mommy, I want hey, can you?" It's annoying to them. I'm sure it's like, oh, I can't even get a thought out to this girl because she's always busy or screaming in the background, you know?
I just feel, but if it's a good friend of yours, she's going to understand. I just feel
Absolutely.
that the 40s, I was reading this article, or I just browsed this, that said the happiest times in a person's life, it's the 20s, 30s. The hardest times are the 40s. And the happiest times, again, it's when they hit the 70s.
Oh, boy.
And I'm looking and I'm thinking the 40s, I could see that because we're, especially, you know, there's women in their 40s that kids are already in their 20s and they're, you know, they're good. They have all the time in their lives for themselves. We're not, you know, we're raising little kids right now,
Later.
you know, later in life. But there's so many things also that is happening at the same time, which is the hormonal changes. It's also the physical changes. Luna comes the other day, Mom, what's that line in your forehead? And I'm like, wait, what? And I go to the mirror and I'm like, okay, there it is.
That's why there's Botox.
Exactly, right? So, but I feel that in the 40s, you're just dealing with so many changes. There's so many people that even separate, they split. A lot of couples around this stage.
Yeah.
Because either they had the kids and then the kids are out of the house and they find that they don't love each other anymore, or there are just so many changes in our lives, and like we were saying, the hormonal changes, and then people just drift apart and they figure out, you know, it's called midlife crisis, you know, for the next, you know, 40 years of my life, am I gonna still be with this person? Am I still gonna be working doing this thing? So I feel that it's a time, the 40s, where so many changes, you're doubting yourself in so many ways. Okay, did I do everything that I wanted to do? You know, I'm like right in the center, in the equator of my life. So it's hard. And with the friendships, I feel that if you're a good friend, you're going to understand what your friend's going through. Priorities change, things change. The day that a friend gets upset because you couldn't, you know, make it to one thing or the other because you're a parent now, then that day you're not going to be my friend anymore.
I think I don't even know. It's just, well, I'm sure there's people that get upset and people that feel like, okay, the dynamic's not the same anymore. And so, and they just start to, maybe it's not as dramatic as it was when you were in your 20s, where somebody would be like, you know what, Darlene, I am not your friend anymore. Like, go, you know, whatever. Now it's kind of like people start to maybe not return texts anymore, or they're not returning the phone call. And then you start to wonder, like, okay, sometimes you think, oh, did I do anything? But I think it's just at this stage, it kind of becomes where everybody's so busy and everybody is trying their best to get their shit together. And at least at this stage, right? And everybody's in their own thing and people have other priorities. And then it is sad because you say to yourself, one day you're going to look back and hopefully not, you know, that friend will still be, you know, around. Like, what if something happens? What about if you're here thinking a story in your mind, like, oh my God, she's not picking up the phone, or he's not picking up the phone. Well, let's say she, because it's usually women, right? She's not picking up the phone. She doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know what's going on. And then in actuality, that person's going through a hard time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's happened to me on both sides. I've never, like, with the friendships that I have, and I could say that close friendships I can count with my hand. Close people that I can tell intimate things to. I don't have 1,000, nor do I want 1,000. You know, people
and everybody that's listening right now.
Yeah, and well, everybody's that's listening right now. But this is, you know, my personal, like, very in depth things. I don't tell that to everybody. But with, you know, with friendships now, I feel like people just, you know, maybe I text you, Darlene, and you used to text me back, like, I don't know, not in like 2 minutes, but you used to text me back maybe at the end of the day. And now I don't hear from you for like 2 weeks. Oh, hey, 2 weeks. You know, it's that sudden change of like, are we drifting apart? Do we just let it go? Is it really dramatic? Is it really something going on?
Did my kid have my phone and I never saw your message? Because that happens too.
Yeah.
And it's happened where I feel horrible because I have a friend asking me a question, for example, and I get it 3 days later and and it's because at that point now Luna gets messages Like if she's on my phone, which I try not for that not to happen too much, but I see her sometimes she's on my phone and a message pops up and she just goes like this, swipes.
Yeah, and you're too busy doing something else.
Yeah, I saw her doing that the other day and I'm like, what happened? Oh, somebody was writing. And then it shows as I read it and I didn't. Oh my God. And the other day she texted teacher. It was on a weekend. She texted teacher at night. I'm like, why is the teacher's name on the top of my messages? She has sent her like a picture or something. And so, yeah, the next morning I was like, I am so sorry. So I had to change her name to another name because Luna will find it and she's obsessed with her teacher. And it's always like, send her this, send her that. And I'm like, oh, so I had to change her name so she can find her. Sorry,
things that you have to do when you have a small children.
That starts reading because I wasn't going through this until she started reading. Also, now she's all my business. Mom, this person is calling. Mom, and now talking about friendships. Most of the messages that I get now on a daily basis is moms that I've met through her friends.
So, but that's another type of friendship, though.
Yeah, these are like new friendships, but we're in constant communication. Two are dancing together now. The plans for the weekend. Oh, this mom is calling you. This mom just sent you a message. I want to talk to her. This mom is sending you this, and I'm like, Luna, it's for me. Like, no, but you know her because I'm friends with the daughter. So yeah, it's
same here. Once they start reading, forget about it. There's no privacy. But okay, so wait, you just mentioned something. You just said the moms that you meet as friend, that they become your friends because now your kids are friends, right?
Yeah.
So now you're hanging out with these like new moms. Have you ever felt like a weird, like an oddness of, I don't know, you go to hang out because she needs to go to a birthday party or something, and then maybe you're not clicking with that mom. It's not the same, or you do click with each other, and now it's like you're finding a new. So I'll give you an example. For me, I have a couple of friends that I've made through jiu-jitsu, and we hit it off so well that has become like more of my circle.
Good.
That's become more of my circle. And it's funny because the friends that I've had from prior, like I have really good friends. One is not here anymore. Like she left to Chicago. She knows who she is if she's listening. And then her sister and so on. Like they've been my friends forever. Yeah. Another mom too, that she has 3 kids we've been friends forever, yet we do not talk. We will talk every so often. Every blue moon, hey, how are you? Oh my God, we've been so busy. I haven't been able to catch up. And it's like, you feel like, I don't know.
Well, or they see what happens also, they probably see you on Instagram or the pictures and knows you're okay. I get that a lot. Oh my God, I'm seeing Luna grow. And it's sad because it's okay, you're doing it through social media, but at least there's something.
Yeah.
Probably back in the days, like send me a postcard, send me a picture by mail,
write me a handwritten letter. Exactly.
Like the good old days.
But it's not. It doesn't happen. It's like, so you just start to wonder, like with the new friendships too. Now you start building like a new circle of friends that are new, and it's like you start finding yourself in these people as you're older now. So it's different, Now the conversations that you became friends with are not the conversations that you would have become friends with when you were 20. It's not like, what hotspot do you like? What bar do you want to go to? Oh, you go to that dance like it's nothing of that anymore. Now it's like,
what restaurant do you go to?
Yes.
What do you like to eat?
What do you want to eat? Because we eat every weekend. Like, we try one restaurant, like, I don't know,
what
2
park
restaurants
do
a
you
month.
go to? Which indoor spot do you like better for the kids?
Everything is based out of what are your kids like? Did you go to Sky Zone? Did you try the new Sky Zone that just came out? Did you go to this other place? Oh my God, I went to a birthday party. You know what's so nice for your kid's birthday party? Like the conversations are different. They're different, and now you're forming these friendships because of the interests that you both have because of the kids that you have, right?
I laugh because it's so true. The conversations are.
It is. It's so different.
Yeah.
It is.
They take over. They take over our conversations too.
Everything. It's you think about it when you go back to your friend Roxy. Now she's in a different stage of her life, right? Her kids are big already. They're women. They don't need her as much as our kids do. And now she's living it up again. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's the cycles of life.
We definitely need to make time for ourselves and for our friends, and then we get together and all we're talking about it's our kids.
I have something here that I wanted to read. There's the with the friendships right now at the age that we are in. They talk about the maturity, right? Like we are more mature now. Again, it's not the fights anymore. It's not like stupid little petty things anymore. It's just like people start to drift apart, and it's usually based off of like no communication, right? You stop communicating, time elapses, and so on. But it says what creates the gap, and it's the different ambition levels too can be something. Like, so for instance, you're my friend, but you're a friend that, maybe you don't like this thing of podcasting and wanting to do a business, or, maybe you're more like, I just want to be home with the kids and like I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with that, but we have different likes now, different ambitions. And that can be something with age that starts to pull you apart from your friends. Not that you're not going to support your friend, but you feel like, oh, I don't belong. Like, I think her world is different than mine.
I don't know if it's so much ambition or more just job responsibilities. The friend that travels a lot or has a different schedule, and she can be doing coffee in the morning or something.
I guess they say ambition level.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the person's not ambitious, but I guess there's different types of women, right? There's ones that are like full force. I want to do business and I want to do this. And then there are the other ones that are like, no, I just want to live a more like calm life. I don't know if those gaps, and as you start to evolve.
Where are you in that? Who's that?
No,
you.
For me, I think for me, I am ambitious. I am an ambitious person. I do work. I'm in the interior part. And then I love this of the podcasting. And I'm always inventing something. And I'm always trying to move forward with something. And some things I comes into fruition. Other things, I drop the ball on. And I'm just right now figuring those things out, But again, there's going to be friends of mine that could care less about this. And then if you and I start doing, really full force, how we said, and we're really consumed by this podcast and making it move forward and all that, I'm sure that there'll be friends that don't feel so, like they'll still support me, but they're going to feel kind of like out of the loop kind of thing, right? I don't know. I could see that. I could see ambition and maybe different career choices and paths and all that to kind of maybe affect friendships. So the different ambition levels is one. And then another thing was like different marriage satisfaction, right? I guess, the dynamic of what you have with your spouse, because I'm sure, and I could think of this. I'm not saying I don't have this going on in my life, but I could see this happening where maybe you are super good with your husband and you guys are like, every time we go out, he's like, oh, baby. And he's touching your face and he's like, I love you and this and that. And then me and mine are always fighting or something, And it might be like, I don't want to go out with these people.
They're too annoying.
Yeah, because maybe I was like, it makes, you know what I mean? And that can kind of build.
Do you have a couple like that? Do you have some
that are super like affectionate?
You could be like that.
I mean, we are, but we're not super. Yeah. No, I am not. Like we are not super like baboso así. No.
And also there's women that don't like to do the girls' night out, don't like to go out without their husbands.
Yeah. Yes. Which I like to have at least one if I can. And to be honest, I haven't had any in a while. I'm like, we need one. Because sometimes you need to get with your 3 girlfriends and just have a glass of wine. It's no longer about dancing on tabletops. It's basically...
Well, maybe. Depends how much wine.
But the truth is...
I haven't done that in a while.
I haven't done that in like forever.
I want to go out. I want to go dancing. Oh, I was so mad the other day. I'm like, let's go dancing. And he's like, no. I'm like, oh.
Same. I love to go dancing, but there's going to be
We were talking about this. Let's take classes.
Yeah, the salsa classes.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be paired up with somebody else because you don't dance salsa by yourself.
Hint. And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I said it. And he's like, okay.
Go ahead, Darlene.
So I'm looking for a salsa partner.
No.
ASAP.
So marriage partnerships could also bring like those little like differences, right? With the friendships. What else was another one? Different financial realities. That I see as a big one. So
yes.
So for sure, you have the friend that's making, they have a phenomenal financial thing that's going for them at this moment, and maybe you're not, and they want to go out every weekend. They want to go, let's go out, let's go eat here, let's go there, and then you can't. So you have to cancel your plans and say, you know what, like I can't this weekend, and then you can't the following weekend. And so that's also can start building or bringing a separation, I guess.
Yeah, that
right?
I went through that when I was living in LA, making $10 an hour, working as a hostess at a restaurant. Wow, yeah, this was a long time ago. $10 an hour, that's illegal now. But my friends, they took a few trips. They went to Monaco. I don't remember where else they went. I don't know if Costa Rica was one. And they would always invite me, hey, we're gonna meet here, we're gonna meet there. You know, we were all single. And I always had to say no. Always. And I was talking to Fabian about this the other day. I'm like, I never taken a trip with my girlfriends because I was always working and trying, you know, to make ends meet. And there was no separation, but obviously a separation of experiences.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, till this day, they'll be talking, oh, remember this and that. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that
But
they
you
were
felt-
able to do it. But I'm like, oh my God, I never got to do it. And it was because of, and also it would make me, you know, uncomfortable. It was a hard time, you know, when you're trying an aspiring actress and being in California, you only come here. I would come to Florida to see my family, and I would see my friends, and they wanted to go like to these super expensive restaurants in Brickell, and it was those times where you put a dress and heels and go and pay like $17 for a drink. And my priority at that time, it was like, I'm just gonna fly to Florida, see my family, and then come back, and I have rent to pay and all these bills, and it was hard. And then when I would come here, it was hard to see them also because they're gonna want to go to this restaurant and this restaurant. And but yeah, I
the financial part of
Yeah.
it can obviously build a little bit of a gap, right? Because it's like you want to take a trip together. Let's do a family trip together, and then even let's say you succeed to do a family trip together, and now you're somewhere else, but you guys can't do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that can build somewhat of like it's not that you're not going to be friends. I just feel like the financial part of it, especially now in the age that we are with the kids that, you know, with our kids and so on, I feel like that can build some sort of a gap. Like
traveling wise, something like a cruise is what's perfect because everybody can get off the cruise, everybody can do their own thing, and then you meet later.
Yeah.
And you throw the kids in the kids club.
And then
That's
you're
it.
done.
And then no, it's perfect.
And different emotional maturity is the other one. So that is true. So I mean, there's the people that I see, and I'm not gonna call out names or whatever, but I see people in my own life that have stayed in they've grown somewhat, but they've stayed still in a very like immature phase in their life. And then, so when you want to have deeper conversations, there is no deep conversation. It is a very like just on the surface kind of thing. And you feel like, okay, it's a short conversation. Like there's no that chemistry anymore, you know, because maybe that person has another person has started to grow more emotionally.
Or they're just bored. They don't want to listen to what we have to say anymore.
I don't know. I think
or they're going through something, and I don't know.
No, or it's the fact that there's people that evolve a little bit more than others in the sense of like let's say self-help and trying to grow and trying to, you know, you want to have more meaningful conversations.
Different
different interests. No, it doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with the person. I'm just saying that there's different interests, right? And so you start talking and you feel like, okay, we don't have that thing in common anymore. When we were younger, you know, we used to talk about all this stuff, but now as I've matured and I've got kids now and I've got financial responsibilities and things have evolved, and maybe that person here is not even thinking about those things, you know? Maybe they don't have the kids, maybe they don't have the financial responsibilities.
They don't relate.
That you're not relating.
You're not relatable.
You're not relating anymore, you know? So that can also build, especially now in the age that we are, different, how do you call it?
Priorities. Different plans. Different priorities.
And so I was going to say, just kind of like to wrap this to kind of, you know, come to our conclusion. This here had told me, or my phone had told me of different types of friendships, right? And then you have, it came out with like 4 of them. It said the nostalgia friend, right? This is the one that you bonded by history, right? So the older ones, the ones that you had from when you were in elementary, middle school, and
I have
so on.
so many of those, and I think about them too. I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. Oh man, I did that recently, and it's
You-
not a. Oh my god, this is insane. Okay, finish and
The nostalgia friend, right? So that is the bonded by history, not necessarily the present, right? So you it could be like months you haven't talked, but you think about them. There was that friendship. You had a lot of good memories with each other. Then you have the proximity friend. That is the school mom, your work circle, your circumstantial connection.
I feel that that's
That's what's keeping me right now with friendships.
Yeah, what we have the most right now. Proximity friendships. Okay.
Which is my jujitsu moms and, my kids' mom friends, from school.
The one you start texting at 7 a.m. asking, what are they supposed to wear today?
Correct. Am I
then-
missing something?
And then you text at 5 and you're like, I could do a beer. And then you text at 8 and you already have a plan made for the weekend and the kids are going to have a blast. And
Correct.
Yeah.
That is where I'm at right now, my proximity friends, right? The crisis friend, the one that shows up in chaos and then may disappear when everything is calm. I don't know if I have that.
I need
I need somebody when I'm in
No,
crisis.
I do have one, which is she's always there if you need anything. But it's also Roxana, which
Yeah.
she's doing her thing now. So I need a new
But you
crisis
you can call her though if you need to.
Yes.
And then you have the
Can
growth
you be my
friend.
crisis friend?
Yeah, dude, I go through crises every so often.
Okay, here.
So-
Let's shake it. Shake hands. We're
Crisis friends. Crisis proximity friend. Okay, the growth friend, the one that celebrates and expands you. But the growth friend, I mean, I feel comes within the proximity friends, right? Because you're talking to the people that you're with now the most, and when you have something that you can say, oh my God, we just started our podcast, and they're like, oh my God, that's so awesome, and they root you on and they give you that support. So I feel that kind of falls into the circle of friends that you currently are dealing with the most right now.
Yeah, it could. And also it could be like your old friend, like my friend Jennifer that I was telling you about, that we hardly ever talk, but when we do, she's like, I love what you're doing, and you look great, and everything. And she puts me like up here, and
you're
she's
like,
celebrating everything that I forgot that happened. She'd be like, bring it out, but you did this. I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't we talk more often?
Yeah, she boosts you. She gives you that
she does.
boost, and she does it in a loving place, which is amazing.
And she's that friend, which I appreciate this so much. She's so honest. Let's say in the past, I got into an argument with, my husband or an ex-boyfriend or a friend. She'll call it as it is. She's not going to tell you, oh, no, you're right. Yes, you're right. No, they're assholes. You're right. No. She'd be like, no, but tell me again, how did this happen? But why did you say that? Oh, no, you're fucked up.
Yeah,
And
me.
I love that. I mean, don't sugarcoat anything. I love realness. I appreciate honesty in any type of relationship.
So do I.
Yeah.
And I feel like friendships that have to. So I was thinking of this the other day when we were going to talk about this. I remember when I was younger, we had this one friend. No, we're no longer friends. I don't even know where that person is anymore.
So
but acquaintance, right? And we would go out every so often. And I remember, she had this drama going on with I don't know what. And I wouldn't. Sometimes I would not take her side. I would be like, well, but you're wrong in this. That was like, you don't support me, you only, and I was like, no, as a friendship, why do I have to say that you are always right? I'm not doing you I've always been like that though, and I think I'm more like that now. Is the fact of, if I'm your friend, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna be mean how I'm saying it, I'm not gonna cuss you out or anything, but I'm gonna tell you, hey Darlene, sorry, but I'm not agreeing with you here. Like, you're wrong. Fabian is right. If you come to me with something, you know what I mean? Like, or, that's not, why am I going to agree with you on everything? That's not friendship. That's me being the freaking kiss ass friend. Yeah. And you're like, oh, Monica's so nice. And in the back of my mind, I know you're wrong, but I'm like, hi, Darlene, you're always so right. You're right. I'm not helping you. I'm doing a disservice to you because I'm egging you on and I'm making you feel like everything you do is correct. It's like, people you have to take responsibility for your things. And I think to this day, I don't have a friend. I do have one that will call me out and be like, wait a second, what are you talking about? Like, no, think of it like this. But I don't think I have anybody super like direct. Like, that doesn't beat around a little bit, like, instead of just saying, Monica, no, you're wrong. I appreciate that, you know?
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
I do. I appreciate that. I feel like, especially at this day and age, like, dude, if I messed up on something or if there's something that I'm not doing right, can you tell me? Like, say it to
We're
me.
strong women. We'll take it.
Yeah. I think you have to, again, be nice how you don't have to be mean when you say it, but be real, be honest. So anyways, yes, that's the what was it? The honest friend?
The honest friend. Yeah.
Well,
no, was it? I don't even
growth,
remember.
the growth friend, whatever, the one that helps to expand you, or
the growth friend. Yeah.
Anyways,
you put some water and she grows. That was a very bad joke.
Are we gonna do a cut there? Cut. So those are the friendships that I kind of like looked into. Obviously, there's a lot more friendships.
So we're in the proximity. I would say that's the most.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people would be in the proximity.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Even, anybody that starts, let's say, a new job, then and suddenly that's it. That's her group now. That's what happened when I was in LA. When I was working in restaurants, all my friends were in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
It was great. Great times.
And again, it doesn't mean that the friendships that you had from prior that you don't see anymore, it's not a friendship anymore, but it does start to drift. And maybe the energy shifts as well a little bit, because now it's no longer like you might pick up the phone and call them and it's like, hi, how are you? And there's kind of silence. It's no longer that type of,
or the other way around. No, it's funny. When I first moved to LA that I changed mine. I went straight from Puerto Rico. So when I changed my number, it went from 787 to 213. So one of my good friends, and I will say his name, he's probably not listening, Monchito. And we were together all the time. And then when I moved, this is 2002, suddenly like, boom, disconnected. And I go to him, like, I call him one day, I'm like, what's up? He said, well, you changed your number. I'm not going to be paying to calling you on that. At that time, they didn't have the plans that they have now.
Yeah.
It was different times where every phone call cost. But yeah, it would cost him a little bit more calling a different area code. So that's it. That's where our friendship drifted, because I changed my area code.
But that's what I'm saying. So it just
it's so stupid.
It is. It's like, okay, you're not gonna even attempt to make that one phone call. But it's true. There's things that drift people apart, and proximity is a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal, because it's like you and I are closer now. We can talk or whatever, and then you move, and that becomes a big, issue later. Not issue, but it becomes something that separates maybe our friendship from talking all the time. Maybe we were not keeping up, with each other. Then there's the people that live close. I have friends that live super close to me. I mean, like super close. Like I could go walking to their house if I wanted to. And we also don't see each other. It's because we are in constant, different things, different activities with our kids, different things with work. So it's the people that you are with right now.
Yeah.
In your kids' circles and in your kids' activities. That is where we are right
Bottom
now.
Bottom line, that's it. On Mondays, Luna's asking me, what are we doing on the weekend? If I tell her I'm going to go out, girls' night out, or I'm going to go with your dad to, by the way, we have a trip pending to Punta Cana. It's paid for. We haven't even gone, reserved, nothing. We haven't even looked at the dates. Anyway, I have to do that. And it's an important one. But so already for the weekend, you're planning, what do the kids want to do? If the kids are in sports, that's it. It's sports, and then go to a sports bar, and that's your fun night.
Yeah.
But you know what's sad? When your kid has friends and then they get into an argument or something and they don't want to talk to each other anymore.
And you get along with the parent.
And then you get along with the parents, or then you know that these parents don't get along with the other one, or the kids with the other one. We're going to talk we're going to have an episode on kids' friendships, because I have a lot to say about that one.
That was something that we were not prepared for, right?
Oh my gosh.
The dynamic is something different.
Anyway, but sticking to this one, it's that situation also when it's like, wait, what do you mean that you guys don't hang out anymore, or you pull your kid out of a sport and that's it, you lose that connection with the parents that you would see. That happen in baseball. I would see them 3 times a week. We were a family. I was with them all the time. Not that we don't care for each other or get along, but it's now, everything changed. Now I have Luna in dance. She's not with the team anymore. And you can say, I'm going to go see them play. We're going to plan. We're going to see each other. Doesn't happen.
I know it's just I don't know. I guess if people really wanted to keep in touch, if you really want to keep in touch and you really say like you and I made friendship in baseball and now we're no longer in baseball together, we're no longer baseball moms, let's say, and you and I made a really good friendship, you would think that at least, I don't know, once every 2 months I'll make a hey, how are you, or think about somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times that I think about people that I haven't, talked to, and I'm like, hi, should I reach out? But then I get bombarded with something else and I forget. And I'm sure it happens to everybody. It's like, you just either you make the effort or you don't, And then there is those friendships that they are no longer, that you're no longer aligned. Like, that the interests are off, the conversation is stale, things are just weird, and you're like, is this worth it? And at this point in age, we're going back to the midlife mom friendships, it's like you think now time. Right? Right now, time is for me a priority. It's like if this here is not bringing me any peace, or it's
and
not
part of the peace is knowing that the kids are entertained,
and they're
whatever, having
whatever.
fun, and they're with good kids. It's like that brings me peace. I'm like, okay, now I get to sit down and relax.
I don't know. I just whatever. I guess it's like It evolves.
Yeah.
Friendships evolve, and yes, there's similarities as when you're younger to now, but they start to evolve, and I think time is also a main thing as well, because now time is not so open, and so now
It's not exactly.
it is.
I have a question. What about? I'm curious. Your thoughts on? Have you made a friendship with a male friend
Okay.
in your 40s?
Yeah.
Or late 30s, but somebody that it's not my friend that I went to school with or college, or my sibling's friend, but made friendship with the other sex.
I've made friendships, but I with other people that I talk to them when I see them again in my close proximity events, like jujitsu or this. But it's not like we've exchanged numbers and I'm going to be talking to them.
Could you imagine?
No, that's like no. I think that would be just like weird. Now it's different that I've made friendships where we as couples we get along and then we go out together.
Yeah, like Benji. I could text Benji on his birthday. I don't have to be like, Monica, tell your husband I said happy birthday. And same
you
thing
text
with
him.
No, for me that's very important also, because we are married, and part of the whole friendship thing is knowing that the husband or even
Vice
my
versa.
friend, they get along with my husband as well. You can always be like, I'll do my thing and you don't have to come, but I mean the ideal thing is what we have, that we get to hang out, the four of us, and the kids get along. But yeah, I could see also the part of, oh man, do we have to go to that house? Man, that man doesn't even talk.
Correct.
I mean,
it feels off. Like
it's off because
it's off.
Women, we vibe easier with each other, but when you bring the man in, I think the best thing is if they all like beer.
And then they can at least, and
Men
sports or something.
connect with a beer.
And sports.
That's it. That's like you open that bottle of beer and that's it. They're connecting.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, midlife friendships, right?
Yes.
Midlife friendships. We discussed that today. We want to discuss what Darlene said for our next episode. We're going to be talking about kid friendships. And that's a whole other dynamic, which we're not going to get into in this episode. We'll wait for the next one. But anyways, if you like this episode and you have anything that you want to input to us as far as, any advice or any friendships that maybe have veered off for certain reasons and so on, we'd love to hear from you, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, what else, Darlene?
Or if you want to connect with a friend that you haven't seen, I don't know, we're not miracle workers, but let's play around it. Let's get you guys together. Yeah. Call your friends and just think about 3 friends that you haven't talked to in a long time. Friends from when you were little kids, or it could be, just somebody that you said, I called you back last week and you haven't.
And you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Just pick up the phone and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also let's do this as well. Let's accept when things are really off, right? Because there will be those friendships where things are off and you have to say, okay, it's no longer what it used to be, and I'm okay with that as well. Let's not force it.
Or you're just not in the mood, because that happens too.
Yeah.
I gotta call my friend. Oh, I'm not in the mood today, because you ask how are you and that's it. 3-hour conversation just on that. Anyway, thanks for listening. And yes, Instagram. Sorry because I interrupted you. Instagram.
Instagram. What else are we on?
Mamas.playground. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on all of that. And YouTube. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.